during the live, or if you're watching after the midday market report, after it uploads, or you're able to see it on YouTube, I greatly appreciate you for tuning in day after day after day in the midday market report. I decided to simplify it in the title today and just say the midday market report with the date and see what happens if that's easier or harder for some to find or some to associate with what I'm trying to talk about. Before we get into the charts, I want to go over a few hot topics. Right now, it's the stock market today. The Dow's up 200-point, bond yields are down. But the main thing that I noticed going through this, we'll go through the charts ourselves. The 10-year Treasury yield dives. It's the largest one-day decline since March. We'll look at that on the charts. But this is what I seen. So about an hour ago, OMC welcome in. True blessings to you as well. Atlanta Fed, Bostic says no more rate hikes needed. Atlanta Federal Reserve President Raphael Bostic O. Johnson, welcome in, said that he believes the central bank does not need to raise interest rates anymore. And you're going to hear the new narrative that the market's already raised rates for the government, so now we don't have to raise rates. That's going to be the new narrative going forward. It's insane, but that's what they're going to say. Dean, welcome in. Mark, I appreciate you tuning in. Speaking at the annual convention for the American Bankers Association on Tuesday, Bostic said that he thinks monetary policy is in the right place to bring inflation down to the Fed's goal of 2%, which is insanity. I mean, that'll never happen in our lifetime. Adi, welcome in. I greatly appreciate you tuning into the midday market report. So let's get into the charts now, just so we can see what everybody's talking about or what the narrative is, and we can see it from a basis from going through the actual market. Jorge, welcome in. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. Devin, welcome in. Thank you all so much. Please make sure to hit that like button while you're watching this midday market report, as it will help more and more people find the midday market report and, allow us to expand our topic of conversation, I would like to say. So, John, welcome in. Crypto, good afternoon. Mitchell Hines, I appreciate you tuning in. John Patak, welcome. So the Dow's up 254 points here. As we're still early week, what we've done is come up like we talked. I'm not going to talk in terms of how we talk. So what we're doing is we had to come and retest to see if we're still overly bearish. So 33,906 is that layer after a breakdown within what looks like a broadening wedge. This would validate that we're still bearish and that we would need to come down more if we get rejected here. If we get on top of 33,906, it opens the door for a further push back to the top of the wedge, the broadening wedge, or a new layer out. Tony Carter, welcome in. Much appreciation for you to be in here, Mr. Carter. Oh, I love seeing you in here. David, welcome in as well. Mr. Castro in the house. Not Fidel Castro, David Castro. But we're looking for, on the daily time frame, we're going to see, are we going to get rejected here at the 20-day? We were slightly above, but this 33,906 is the big resistance area for the Dow. And like I've stated, as we're looking at, we're in this broadening wedge. The legend isn't a broadening wedge. Each hit becomes more volatile, so we can see we've already had a hit first here. Resistance, support, resistance. You only need 2 hits on each side to confirm a broadening wedge. So we know it's a wedge. So now the question is, if we get rejected here, are we just going to shoot through and then layer down to the bottom of the wedge? Or are we going to try to show some strength and say, well, this is our mid-tier pivot point and we're just going to come up and break through? I don't know right now. War equals money equals printing equals expansion. The expansion of the money supply is usually good for a mini parabolic run in risk assets because they print money into oblivion and they pump it into oblivion. We'll see what happens with the bond market, but the bond market rolling over a little bit here is the first sign of them injecting the system with cash. So we'll take a look, and with the DXY coming down, this is another sign that they're going to expand the money supply. They're getting on top of it. What did I say? Nope, not what did I say. But now that we broke the rising channel, because if you're new, let's face it, you won't know what I said. So with the rising channel, the DXY broke it. And what we've speculated, if you've been around, but if you're new, it's going to come down to the 200-day to see if this pattern's done. So it'll come down to that 105 spot 30. as I always say, day to day, I don't make the rules. I just understand the pattern formations and what needs to do if it breaks or if it continues on. Now that the printing presses are open, it would not shock me if we have an immediate move down to the 103 spot 35. This is telling us, especially if we break the 200 day and get rejected, that they have in fact opened the printing presses up, and we're in a new era here with war. So we're going to see what happens now. And we were already funding Ukraine, but now that we've backed Iraq, or Israel, as far as funding, I suppose, you know, it's going to be a never-ending thing. The U.S. 10-year is taking a hit here, down 0.35% to 4.62%. Looks like it could be putting in an M-topping reversal here. And honestly, that would make perfect sense because we never got the consolidation we were looking for, down to 3.94%. So could we have had an overrun up? And now instead of coming down to the 3.94, which we still could in my opinion, that's the daily time frame. I thought we needed to hit the 200 day and we needed to validate this cup and handle. So now we have my first look. Now let's look to see, now that it played out, does it now come down a little bit sharper to try to make that retest, or because it's only a 58% chance to come up to 5.51 or 5.105. But if it does put in a bullish handle, that would have to hold the 200 day and then it would come up. Nobody's buying these, so they have to keep raising the rates to try to entice everybody. But the problem is anybody who's fixed in on lower rates for 30 years as it comes up, not good. So pay attention to that. If you break the 200 day in the daily, you'd come back down here for the uptrend, and that's right around 2.9%. I don't see that happening. Not yet. Not yet. We've still got too much work to do here. I mean, this is all but showing you a massive breakout attempt here. So if you have anything to add, you're more than welcome to. I appreciate the 42 people here on the Midday Market Report. It always makes my day to see you guys coming here day after day. 31 likes. Make sure to hit that like button, as it will help push this content through the algorithm. And let's face it, we do want more and more people to become informed. So if you could help me push this out there, I would greatly appreciate it. The U.S. Crude oil is down 0.46% to 85.94. We're still on a retracement step. We came up to the 20-day in the daily, which is completely normal, but it still seems to me that we could come down here and retest the bottom of this, what I think is a rounding of the bottom of the cup and handle, which to me could come all the way down to $77. It just isn't really going to come all the way down there. More than likely, that $80 would be kind of like a stopping point. But remember, $77 is on the table. 85% chance to finish this move off, even if it goes into next year at 108. I still think there's a retracement that we're working on right now. Why aren't you a day trader when you're so damn good at TA? It's not that I'm not a day trader. See, look, day trading, whenever you buy and sell in nominal terms in crypto, you're paying a 35% capital gains tax. I'm not going to buy and sell on a daily basis. What I do is I approach crypto in a way of accumulation. We're in a bear market. I don't need to get outside myself right now. This is the time to accumulate everything I want, so that while everybody's swing trading and doing what they're doing, I'm accumulating. You're not getting rich off of swing trading. A lot of times you lose on swing trades as well, what people don't talk about. Because if you're telling me to swing trade, that means you want me to go short and long. If I'm going short, I've got a futures. To futures trade, I'm going to have to do at least a 2x leverage. Even the greatest technical analysis and tacticians out here, you know, I consider myself pretty good. I can still be wrong on a manipulated push within a time frame. So it might still make the same move I'm seeing, but that 10% up and down in between could be everything within your trade. See, I don't care about the short-term trade in crypto, never have. I care about the accumulation. That's where I make my big money. In commodities, I will swing in and out of commodities sometimes, but I still believe in the accumulation phase. Right now, we're in a time in the markets where you're accumulating. And if it goes down farther, you know, that's why you pick your poison. Some people are like, well, fuck XRP. It's already down 65, 70, 80% from the top this year. But if you bought in, you know, where you wanted to, if you had the philosophy and you understood, we're still up in nominal terms in 2023 since we bought back in. We still have a lot of leverage in between still, even for drop downs. So I don't swing trade, because when I swing trade, the honest to God truth is, and this is something, I'll be honest, I'm a very honest person. And most people won't tell you this if they're technical analysis, if they do analysis. If you're a swing trader, you will start to try to fit the chart. No matter how good you are, you'll try to convince yourself that it's going the way that you want it to. And then you stop seeing the little hints that's being given in the markets. You might ignore it because you have something invested. See, as an accumulator, as a long-term trader, I wasn't that way in 2021. I was a short-term trader because I knew we were going to run up to the end of a mini bull run. I knew it was mini because I knew we were going to go back into quantitative tightening. Now we're in the different cycle. You know, now it's more of, okay, now we're going to have these big bursts, but we're still in a bear market rally. That's what I've been saying. So understanding what kind of cycle you're in, it allows you to keep your mindset of, okay, I'm accumulating. So even if it goes down from where I think is a good spot, which with XRP was at 34.5 cents. You know, if it goes down from there, you know. So, and yeah, just like you're saying, you don't want to be the guy who says, I wish I got in it. Exactly. 50 cents is not the end of the world, but for me, it's overvalued at 50 cents. And I know that might rub people the wrong way, but I firmly believe that 2020 uptrend should be your guidance. Until it breaks that, the guidance should be the 3-year uptrend. So you get as close to that uptrend as you can when you buy. So anything under 50 cents is a steal. Under $1 in the long term is a steal. But I'm just saying, if you're looking for from a bull market to bear market mindset, that's my mindset. Kyle, welcome in. What's going on? Cape Cod Kyle in the house. Josh, under $1 is a bargain indeed. You're welcome. You're welcome. I got to read who said that, but true, isn't it so true? I seen you agreed. You know, it's so true. You try to fit the narrative to what you're trading in. So I try not to do that because then I have the overriding picture. See, what most don't realize is just because I'm not trading crypto doesn't mean I'm not trading. I try to teach it with commodities and the midday market report every day. I'll read the rest of the comments when somebody else comments. The gold silver ratio is at 85.155. And what came out today, and I don't want to go through an article. You're welcome, David. You're welcome. He said, thank you for your knowledge and time. Much appreciated. And I thank you so much, too, for you tuning in. It allows me to express my knowledge. Kwame, welcome in. Oh, Johnson, hey, Tom, what's your next buy-in on silver? There's no set point for my next buy-in on silver. I accumulate. It's more of when I have when I want to put in this set amount. I was putting in sets amount until it got up to $22 an ounce, as many know. So actually, it was a little lower than that. But I've been accumulating since 2017, so my philosophy might not be the same as somebody who just got in. So when it broke this structure, I don't like to buy above it. I just don't. It's the same thing with crypto. We're in this consolidation. It's a wide consolidation. So when it gets, even up here, sometimes I would buy, but it's more the 80 to 1 ratio. Thank you so much. It's more of the 80 to 1 ratio with commodities, but good question. With the gold silver ratio, I mean. So it's not where I would buy it. It's just the conversion. Right now is a great time, though. Look at the U.S. dollar. 105.67. This would be a time where I would be hiding my money in silver. So yeah, more of my funds are going to be in the short term now going back to silver. So now, when's a good time to buy? Now on this next downturn while it's doing it. And I still think we're more than likely, even if we come up to 22.38, we'll get a rejection and fill out the technical target, which first layer should get us down to 2023. I'm telling you, this is a wide formation. We just happened to break out and we failed. It was a failed breakout attempt. Oftentimes you'll get rejected now at the failed breakout attempt, just to reconfirm the pattern. And now look at the trajectory. That would be a perfect breakdown consolidation right in within the longer pattern too. So this is exactly what we're looking for. Archie, welcome in. What's going on, boss man? Oh, I'm the boss man. What's going on, my friend? I'm doing good. I never buy tokenized silver, only physical. I hate tokenized silver. No, not that I don't like SLV, but you know what? You can buy the tokenized, and then you could always tell them you want it. But I'll tell you, I'll guarantee you, there is not as much silver that have contracts out there for tokenized. So I would just rather, if I'm buying it, to give me the physical form. Just, it's that simple. You can bury it. You can hide it out in a vault. You can put it in your ceiling. You can put it, I don't know, you can put it in the mountains. I don't care what you do with it. But, you know, the Black Swan event's been coming since 2020. Ed Wender. It's been coming. The Black Swan event, it's been coming since 2020, and since everybody can see it coming, the terminology is wrong. It's a white swan event if everybody can see it coming. Or a black swan event, it's already, the white swan is something that comes out of the blue. So, I mean, we already have the factors. If we already know what it is, it's not a black swan event, it's a white swan event. A black swan event happens with no other factors in the air. It just happens. Oh my God, it was unexpected. We didn't know this was even a possibility, and the infrastructure just collapsed. That's a black swan event. The white swan event is when there's smoke in the air, and the fire starts to come from the smoke, and then everything goes into place. That's what's happening right now. If we can predict what's happening, it's not a black swan event, it's a white swan. Just like if you're woke, you're not woke, you're awake. It's whatever the narrative that the mainstream wants you to speak. So oftentimes in nominal terms for all of us, in the real world, there's ones who know and the ones who don't. The ones who don't spit the mainstream narrative. The ones who do will speak a different language. So a lot of times, you know, I can tell the mainstream. It's not a black swan event. If we know about it, it's not a black swan event. Anything that's going to happen that we've already predicted is a white swan event. So I just hate the term black swan because everybody just, I don't know. We don't know our language. Exactly. You're not woke. You're awake, Joshua. Woke is the term used so that they know who the sheep are. If you say you're woke, that just means you're indoctrinated. You're awake. You're awake. You're not asleep. You're awake. You're not woke. You're woke to what? To what they want you to hear? No, you're awake to reality. That's what you want to be. So anyhow, let me get back on track before everybody leaves. 60 people here now. Wow. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Midday Market Report. 44 likes. I greatly appreciate that. I think I am going to go away from doing my XRP in the Midday Market Report. So you can go watch the early update. A lot of people decided not to watch it this morning. So my Midday Market Reports are for just that. The Midday Market Report. If I decide to go into XRP, I will. But I want to cover the actual markets as a whole. We do crypto on every other update. You'll see it in the live. So if you want to see XRP, show me that good faith and go watch my XRP video. Don't just skip them. You know, it really does hurt through the algorithm. So yeah, in the Midday Market Reports, we're covering the market away from crypto. How about that? Doesn't that sound right? Covering the market away from crypto, because that's what I do on every other update. So yeah, there you go. So that's what we're looking at with silver. So with silver, like I was saying, right now is a good area to buy. I still think we could get a possible retracement down as the market injects more cash. They try to make the DXY or the US dollar look a little more inflatable. But remember, if it does crash below that 200-day that we talked about on the DXY here, we have the rising channel. We came down, remember, in the 4-hour time frame, we have the 200-day that could hold us, and this could be an overextension. Then we'd have a rebound up to about 106.30 and then a breakdown. So if we do crash below 105.30 and just come through it and actually come back down to this 103 spot 40 area, expect a little bit of a rally from silver. And what that means is now would be the opportune time, as it did round the bottom before, if you look at it out from the 4-hour time frame down here, and now you are actually on a bull flag if you look at it in a real perspective. So understand that this may never come down here, and this might be the actual opportune time to buy right now. It could just be coming for a rejection at the 200 at 22.58, which I think as of right now, with the current conditions, it's probably a 65% chance. Archie, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army. Holy smokes. Wow. You have made my day. I don't know how many people have joined Tom's Army through the Midday Market Report, but I can't imagine it's that many. So holy smokes. Thank you. And everybody who's in the Midday Market Report, thank you so much. So that's the resistance point here at 22.39. And then if we do come through, we know the levels. Gold, 1861. And thank you so much, Joshua, for saying that. Joshua said I'm the only station he actually watches comes and watches the whole videos. You're one of the only channels that I take the time to watch all your videos. I appreciate that. Codizer, thanks for watching from the gym. JW, welcome in, my friend. You snuck on in here. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a blessed start to your day. Actually, it's a little later. We're getting Tanya's in here as well, my birthday sister. We share the same birthday on December 17th. Of course, I'm older, but not wiser. So, you figure that out. Gold, up 89 cents to 1862. Another one that looks like it's coming back through, and this is because the dollar's retracing. A very basic cup and handle repeating itself. These oftentimes, after breaking down from a big formation, you'll get a retest of the breakdown point, which would be 1870. And then if it wants to be rejected, you use this as a rejection point or just below it, so we'll see what happens. And then the technical target is still 1792 on a follow through. I still say there's about a 75% chance here that this does follow through. It's just with this war starting, it could be a variable, but they do like to manipulate the metals markets, which I implore them to do it. I implore them to do it. Mo, thank you for saying that. He says your effort to keep us updated are very much appreciated, Tom. I thank you so much for that. And the reason why on the midday market reports I'm going to stay away from crypto is so I can give a true midday market report. If I do 25 minutes, I want it to do on the market. And I want to go through the actual stock markets and everything. Everybody knows my crypto stance. So, hey, that's close enough. I like pancakes. I love pancakes, so you hit a home run. B2 gold and the gold chart looks pretty much the same. B2 gold, and then I'll let you guys go. I appreciate everybody tuning in to Midday Market Report. If you appreciate what I do, make sure to hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. And I appreciate what Archie did, joining Tom's Army during the Midday Market Report. So if you like what I do and you want to show that extra support, you could always do that. But I'll always share this far and wide so we can beat the analytics or the algorithm. Anthony, welcome in. Good morning. And with B2 Gold, all I want you to remember is there's about a 75% chance now that we get rejected up here at $3.20 and continue this technical move down to 240. It's just, this could create this head because of this war, just like we talked about, so pay attention. If the gold market reverses because they dumped the dollar, we would have to pay attention to this. Maybe just doing something like this, or this is a left shoulder, head, back up to a right shoulder, and quick reversal. So let's just pay attention here. That's why there is a 25%. Actually, I'd probably change that to like a 70%, just because of the war. So now, it's better than not to come down, but it does take off, a little bit of it. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciate this, please make sure to hit that like button, and I'll be back on a further update. I'll give you guys a few seconds to say your parting wishes. And I do have the last part of my relaxation, so I guess we could relax together before I leave. So if you have any cannabis, you are more than welcome to join me. Everybody's leaving now, but we did top out at about 65 people. We still have 47 now. Take care, everybody. I appreciate everybody. But what I can do, I'm going to do this at the end of the videos for anybody who wants to join in for the cannabis at the end. I'll continue the Mike Maloney talk. I'm not going to give that away at the beginning. I'd rather everybody listen to what I do. And if you want to watch Mike Maloney, go to goldsilver.com. We're just disproving the IMF's inflation propaganda. We've been going through this. Oh, I understand that, Jorge. I understand that. JW, have a great day as well. My extra money this month went into silver. Wish for 20. Yes, great job with that. Great job putting it into silver. That's a good way to hedge your bet against your native currency. And that's going to be there through times, anytime. It's going to be here in 20 years. You're not going to have to worry about the death of your native currency.
I took a snapshot of this when I was writing my book, and it's in chapter 5.
And for anybody who's continuing on this journey with Mike Maloney, I appreciate it. We'll do a couple minutes here, and then I'll let you go. So that'll be all you'll hear me talk. Have a blessed day.
I believe, of the book. No, it's in chapter 7 of the book. And the differences are just absolutely staggering. When I was about 17, I think it was, maybe 18.
Honestly, I don't really listen to music anymore. I don't honestly really listen to music. I like more instrumental. I'm not into the new age music anymore. If I was listening to music, I love 80s and 90s. I love like rock. I like old rap, not new age, but I like instrumentals now.
I had a certificate of deposit
and holiday music.
16.9% interest, not
some spiritual music
of 1%. So the interest rates of savings did not go up necessarily. So
Yes, indeed,
she
Familian.
it is
Excellent
the,
observation.
Inflation Misinformation Foundation giving you these stats.
Now, on the other side, governments can also cut spending or increase taxes. And the broad idea is that there's less money sloshing around to...
Okay, so governments can either cut spending or increase taxes. I need to ask you a question. In your experience, has the government ever cut spending? In my experience, no. Have they ever increased taxes? Yes, that happens all of the time. Have they ever increased their amount of deficit spending? Spending where they don't have the tax revenue to cover it? Yes, all the time. That is exactly what is happening right now. But there is always a price to be paid.
I thought he was going to go to the next level. I thought he was going to talk about the price to pay, but he gave us something to think about.
So you're going to have less currency. She's mistakenly calling it money. It has to store, if it's money, it's got to store value. And she's talking about inflation, meaning the purchasing power of the currency is falling. It's not storing value. It is being stolen by the counterfeiters.
It's a little bit trickier, but governments can still do something. In some cases, governments might have special reserves to lessen the damage. Think strategic oil reserves. But not all countries have these.
Okay, I want to point out first that whoever is pouring this oil into this hole has terrible aim. But second, the strategic oil reserves are for emergencies such as war or such as the OPEC doing another boycott and freezing us out of all of that extra supply. It's to smooth the price in emergencies. Now they are using it to smooth the price out
absolutely
because of some policy that they implemented that causes a shortage. It's all government policy and then trying to paper over it, and it's very temporary. It only benefits one administration that will get to use up some of that reserves until it gets down to critical levels. And then there will be an election, and hopefully it's the next guy's problem.
Or they're not large enough to have an impact. The second thing governments can do in the longer term is create an environment that incentivizes businesses to produce more.
Yes, and all you have to do is get government out of the process. The only role for government here is to have only the absolute minimum regulations possible to keep businesses honest and keep them from committing. You have to have laws, and then businesses that break those laws have to get punished. They can't get special treatment like when we've seen banks commit crimes and then they get a fine.
It always amazes me though when I play this, how can some people think that I have better information than Mike Maloney? Like, why would people leave while Mike Maloney's talking? I don't understand. 20 people have left while he's talking. I don't get it. So you really think I'm more respectable and I have more knowledge than Mike Maloney? Like, there's a reason I don't understand.
That is 1/10 or 1/100th the size of the amount of profit that they made committing the crime. So what's the best strategy? Commit the crime again. There is also all of the currency that goes into lobbying to have the laws tilted in favor of certain businesses and sectors. And so government's responsibility is to create an absolutely level playing field with fair laws for everybody, where nobody gets treated in a special way, and then to make sure that they're not sticking their nose in where it doesn't belong. You have laws that companies pay large fines for that are much larger than the profits that they made, and people go to jail over if they are polluting or causing cancer or doing something really bad in the environment or cheating competitors or somehow creating a monopoly. Monopolies are almost always created by the government. Whenever you've got a monopoly, they always try to increase their profits, and the increased profits, if you have a level playing field, other businesses will come in and lower the cost of that product or service that that one company had a monopoly on. Past tense, monopoly over with.
Okay, so we're going to end it there. I thank everybody. We'll continue this last 3 minutes the next time we do the Midday Market Report. Have a blessed